Let's have a big applause for the horses. They are sacred. Their bodies embody the four directions. And let us honor the Unity Riders. Yeah! They're riding across North America as an expression of reconciliation of any hardships that have happened between the races and in all people, and for unity for all of us who are working together for the environment and for justice. We are honored, very honored to have them here with us today. Now we have David Amram scheduled to perform. And David is an old friend of mine, going back to the 1981, I think, when I met him in New York City. And he's one of our most honored guests. And so I think David has a little bit of music here. David Amram.
Late 1960s. And he explained to me, don't talk the talk if you can't walk the walk. So since we're all here, we have these wonderful riders who are the real deal. Floyd's not with us, except looking down from where he is now. He had a wonderful song about anthropologists, and he felt someday all of us, every human, should be an anthropologist of their own culture. So when I went to Beijing, China, I got this beautiful Chinese hulu side. I was told by the people, do you really believe that the native people came from Asia and walked across the Bering Straits? I said, who knows? So I went back and I asked Floyd, and he said, no. He said, actually, we walked from here over to Asia, and when we got to the Bering Straits, we walked backwards to fool the anthropologists. He told me that's an old Indian trick, so I tried to figure what I could do to use the hulu sai from Beijing, right here in Beacon. This is just a blues to Beacon. So for all of you who are here, all of you who've been here for 50,000 years, all of us who came over in boats, who are grateful to be in this beautiful Indian country that we call the continent of the Americas, is for all of us to be together. This will be the first and last Beijing to Beacon. Well, just a few years ago, I went to Beijing, China. Things could not have been finer. I got myself a learn and hulu sai and learned to play it too. And I just learned one phrase to say I'm glad to be in Beijing. I'll say it for all of you. It's Your Hong Gao Shi Lie Down. Beijing. So when I came back home, I thought I'd try to play the hulu sai and say that sentence for you. To say, Your Hong Gao Shi Lie Down, baby, before I'm through. I've left a message for everyone over there, so that you could learn to have an expression to share. Lord Westerman told me that a long time ago. He said, just say, wash, take over. That's all you got to know. Well, here in the USA, all you got to say is wash, take over each and every day. That means welcome, my friend. It's the beginning, not the end. Now when you go back to China, you got something else, it's a message you can send. There's not too much more that I've gotta say. Blues again. Well, Lord also told me that caring is sharing. Respect and love is caring are the Indian way. I took that bumper sticker that they gave me at a powwow in 1971. And I put it at home for my kids to see as in the spring. That's all you have to know. To be at home in the continent that they call the USA. So, they said if you can't spell it, you can't sell it. So let's learn how to spell the folks who are here and right. Because they brought their horses and beautiful culture with them. So that all of us could feel more free and not be so uptight. All you gotta do is say L-A-K-O-T-A. You could sell it because you could spell it because you're going to do it the right kind of way. Here we go now, everybody. L-O-K-A spells Lakota. L-A-K-O-T-A spells Lakota. Lakota. If you don't believe me, go down to Pine South Dakota. Lakota. I think you all have got it right. Yes. L-A-K-O-T-A spells Dakota. North and south doesn't make any difference anyway. L-A-K-O-T-A spells Lakota. You're gonna hear Mr. Stick-Headed use of Lakota playing his role. Well, we've got something beautiful you all about to see. It's not an anthropologist type of direction. It comes from the Lakota people and a tradition that's thousands of years old. We're going to hear authentic chord direction. So from Beijing to Beijing, we're going to take it out. That's what respect, love, and sharing and harmony is all about. for the riders who came all the way here to grace us and make this spot more beautiful than it's been ever. Thank you all for coming.
An opportunity to speak.
And they were controlling us. Now all the water we're riding for you all people, different race. We're riding for the environment, the water, and also we're riding for sacred sites. We're trying to protect our sacred sites. The oil companies, they just bulldoze through our sacred sites and also burial sites. I was told one company, they had a skull on their desk, use it as an ashtray. And the money driving them crazy. So we're going to United Nations. We need all mankind support. We're going to be there on August the 9th. So whoever that can make it out there, we need that support. We travel from Manitoba. The first 4 days, it took us day and night to get over here. We had trouble with our vehicles along the way, but we got them fixed. And lucky that we're staying at Woodstock. Woodstock is our headquarters, and we'll be going different areas. And I want to thank the Woodstock people. There should be some here. I want to thank them all, and I shake hands to everybody here. Thank you very much for having us here. Thank you.
Oren, Lyons.
Hey, Oren!
I want to welcome our brothers from the West to their ride. It's a long ride, and about 500 years, I think. 512-year ride. We're finally getting over here together, and I think the message of unity is precisely what we need. So when he mentioned that it doesn't matter who you are or what color you are, we're just one family, and we're human beings, and right now we question whether we're going to survive or not. So the discussion that he was talking about is old and continues on, and so the only change that's going to happen is when you choose to make it happen. You have to make the change. The leaders are not leading. Corporations are running the world right now, and if you let them run the world, they're going to run you right in the ground. And everybody else, and everything else. So this unity ride, we land up in the United Nations August 9th. We will be met officially by the Netherlands. We had shook hands with them 400 years ago, and So we're renewing that handshake, and we agreed in principle on a treaty of peace, friendship, for as long as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, as long as the water runs downhill. And this river here runs both ways, you know. So that's our name for this river. It runs two ways. And as long as the grass is green. So far, that's what's going on. So the treaty is on, and they are going to officially shake hands with us over these 400 years. But when you think about what's taken place in these past 400 years and what the condition that we're in today, and how do you educate 7 billion people as to the relationship to the earth? You don't have a long, long ways away from relating to the earth and what's happening here, and that's your sustenance, that's what keeps you alive, and you have to understand that. There's no place to run. There's no place to go. This is it right here. So, better conduct. I mentioned greedy people. Indeed, that's what's running this country right now, are greedy people. So, what's the big lesson here? We have to get back to that sharing. We used to always share everything, share the water, share the good times, share the bad times, but share it equal. One dish, one spoon. So we're going to make this trip the start of a bigger issue. When we land up in the United Nations, that's going to be the start of a bigger issue. You guys are going to be the ones to push it. And so we're going to hold hands all the way around now on this one. And I just want to really thank our brothers from the West here who made a long trip for a good cause. Horses look rich, they look rustic. A lot of green grass here, and you're right at it, aren't you? So I want to just thank everybody for coming here and joining up on this stop. Our paddlers are en route, and I think with your support, with your help, pick up your telephones, pick up your, what do you call them, blueberries, and send a message out. Send it out. Send it to everybody. We're on our way. We're on our way to the UN. Indigenous people. And everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oren Lyons. Let's have another round of applause for Oren Lyons. Oren has been going around most of these different stops, all up and down the Hudson River, following the two-row campaign. He's a very energetic man at any age. Now, I have a special moment where Professor Airy Dixon would like to give a present to Gus High Eagle. So, Gus, you could come to the stage to receive this present, and Airy will explain. And while we're doing that, I'd like to mention that the Dakota Unity Riders have T-shirts, commemorative T-shirts that I understand are very attractive and have a message, and they're $20. And they're in a truck back there. You can ask some of the riders about the T-shirts, which is a great opportunity. There's also some buttons for the Unity Riders available. Just want to make that announcement. Airy Dixon will say a few words.
Encima la hielo, o ya te sale chinkero, o aquí hielo, echelena o ya te nifikero, tu casi la ilana ya hielo, nikapo yasu. My name is Airy Dixon. I'm an elder of the Saponi Nation of Ohio, and the Saponi people are Eastern Sioux people, and our history is a bridge between our Dakota relatives in the West and our Iroquois people here. Now the story is that our tradition has that we were all together, the Sioux-speaking people, somewhere in the Ohio Valley. And some migrated west, we migrated southeast into the Virginia and Carolina Piedmont. And when we were taking a beating by the newcomers, we were invited up. We followed the white roots of peace into Iroquois. And in 1753, we were admitted to the Iroquois League under the wing of the Cayuga people. So I always offer my thanks to the Cayuga, for we were like the prodigal sons. We were running in the woods like mice, scared of everything, and the Cayugas came to us and said, don't worry, come, and we will take you in. So we went to their camp, and during the first night when we're sleeping, some Senecas were talking to Cayugas, and because we didn't understand the language too well, what they were saying is they looked like a good people to take in, and we thought it was they looked like a good people to eat. So we got over that initial misunderstanding, and we became part of the Iroquois League as the part of the younger brothers, and we sit behind the Cayugas in conference. Now this is a very important historical moment for me personally and for the people, because we serve as a bridge between the Lakotas, through us, and our adoption into the Iroquois is an important step. Now we've been working on the language. Our language, the Tutelo language, is dormant. It's not spoken. But I have here for the chief a dictionary and a grammar of the Tutelo language that I'd like for him to take back and confer with the elders and the linguists, and you'll see that there's so many words that are the same, which indicates that even though we've been separated by so many miles and such a great distance, there's so much in the language that has remained constant, and that is the best proof that we were once part of the same people. And so it's a great honor and pleasure for me to be able to welcome you here as our brothers and sisters. Mitakoyate.
Wapida, Otake, Yevchakoka, Nina, Wase, our, what I said, our relatives, we found each other and feel very good about it. Thank you very much.
And there's an additional token, is it token? Yeah. Yeah, we don't use them on the subway anymore. Use Easy Pass card. But it's a token of the remembrance on this side of the world, under the education and protection of the Iroquois, we've learned